What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Hardworking Happy Hour. I'm Sean.
And I'm Catherine, and as always, we'll be breaking down all things trades, entrepreneurship, and turning your creativity into a passion career. Thank you, Sean, for belching during this intro. That will definitely make it into the recording.
Oh, it will?
Yep.
Oh, no. I thought that was my safe time to get one last belch out.
Nope.
Well, you know what? I'm not even going to apologize. It's just a normal thing that everybody does. I was drinking a Coke Zero, and I'm not going to apologize for it. So,
all right. Well, fair.
What I do in the privacy of my own home in front of this microphone is, I guess it's everyone's business. So, I hope you enjoyed that belch. It's out there.
There's nothing better than a good audible belch for an audio recording that people are listening to, maybe in headphones. So,
oh, especially in headphones. Yeah, you want to really feel that belch. I'm so sorry, everybody. I am so sorry. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing excellent. I'm doing so good. It's almost the end of the year.
Yeah, you know the crushing weight of the end of the year?
What? No.
No? Just
no.
Okay, cool.
Why do you? Do you feel that?
God, yeah. It's the holidays.
What do you mean?
Everyone's so busy. There's so much pressure.
Pressure for what?
But you know what pressure makes?
Diamonds. What pressure? This is supposed to be the most happy time of year.
Oh, God, it's not, though.
Why?
There's just so much to do. There's like...
Is there?
Oh, God, there's so much to do.
What is there to do?
What world do you live in that you don't feel pressure?
I don't know. I just feel like it's just normal. Like, yeah, you got to go out and get some presents for people. But besides that, everything's kind of the same.
Also the end of the year. So don't you feel all the pressure of like wrapping everything up for 2024 and then creating this new version for 2025? It's just like a lot at the end of the year.
I mean, a little bit, I guess. Yeah, I didn't look at it like that. Like it's so much pressure. Yeah, we do want to set some goals for the new year, which is what we're going to talk about. Was this just kind of like a build up to that? Or are you really blink twice if you're in trouble?
No, I do feel the crushing weight of all the things that I have to do before the end of the year. But
what kind of deadlines are you under? Or is this just like a metaphorical end of year kind of thing? Or are you under some sort of...
I mean, the holidays are busy. Tons of stuff to do. Organizing so many different family functions and things and keeping everybody happy. That's a lot. Then also there's end of year things. Business-wise. There's a lot of things that we need to do for like contracts, make sure that those are wrapped up, get that ready for next year. That's a lot. Just that typical end of year stuff.
Everything.
And
just
then
everything.
also I am personally the treasurer of a board. And it's a lot of year-end accounting, and it's like I just feel the crushing weight of all of these things compounding.
It's okay. It's gonna be fine. Yeah, it's gonna be fine. Jeez, I didn't know. You know what? This explains a lot.
It's just busy. It's just busy.
The way you've been acting.
I like being busy, but it's just busy.
Everything's going to be fine. It's not a big deal, but
maybe you should feel a little bit of this crushing weight.
Should I? Am I not shouldering enough of the... Are you shouldering a lot of the crushing weight of Premier Outdoor Living on you right now?
I mean, always, but...
Oh, right.
Well, fine.
We do... I don't want to put more stuff on you, but we do have to come up with our goals for 2025. Oh, my God, 2025. That sounds weird to say.
Crazy.
2025, but...
No, I love goal setting. It's actually very fun. This is the fun stuff. I like doing this.
Yeah. You need some sort of, like, I don't know, Christmas moment, like from a movie where some sort of, like, a ghost teaches you the real meaning of Christmas
lovely.
Or something. That's what you need.
Ghosts over here.
It's not about planning out functions and year-end accounting. It's about... I'm not sure. The ghost is going to have to tell you what Christmas is. It's about... I'm not sure. All right. It could be a woman. You never know.
I think 3 come to your house, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe,
3 ghosts? Oh, the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future.
Exactly. I need to be reminded of the magic of my childhood Christmases so that I can enjoy it in the present so I don't turn into some sort of Scrooge in the future.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Now that's starting to ring a bell. It's all starting to come together. It all is. I'm kind of worried that I'm getting too many presents for Max. I'm worried that I'm raising a spoiled kid.
How many presents do you get him?
I mean, not that many, but I never got I got the most minuscule amount of presents as a kid. I never got a whole lot of presents. Did you get a lot of presents?
Mm-mm. We would get one big present, and then presents from family members, and then a stocking full of like little things.
Yeah, it's
kind of. But I also think that, like, I think that I hate to be like an old lady about it, but I feel like Christmas was different when we were kids. You had people fist fighting over like Tickle Me Elmos, but it wasn't really like now. Everyone's keeping up with the Joneses with social media, and you feel like you need to, like, everything needs to be perfect, and your kid needs to come down with thousands of presents surrounding the trees, and I just feel like it's different. Like, we didn't have that when we were kids.
Yeah, I guess so.
Right?
Yeah, I don't know. I was a kid. I don't really remember, but yeah. Well, I think it'll probably be all right. It'll probably be all right. But you just see things, and it's like, oh, he's gonna love this. I want to get this for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're wanting to make him happy.
Exactly. All the things that I never got to get.
Well, I do think, yeah. And to your credit and to Sarah's credit, one thing that I think you guys did, maybe for Max's birthday or something, whenever he got a lot of presents, he opened them in like phases. I think that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, whenever, like, I've witnessed my nieces and nephews opening presents, like, especially with our family, we have so many people, so the kids are getting so many presents all at once. They open them in this like frenzy, and then they're just completely overstimulated. They're not enjoying anything that they got because they're just like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. So, like, opening in phases, I feel like that's a great, you guys do. I don't know if you do that for Christmas, but you do that for like his birthday and stuff. And I think that's great.
Yeah, I don't think we'll do that for Christmas. We did that for his birthday because we can just, like, we collect all the gifts and then we'll give them to him like whenever. I forget how we did that, but I feel like it would be cruel to be like, here, open all these presents. Now half of these are going to go away. And Santa only comes once a year. I can't just be like, oh, Santa dropped off another present for you in March. You know what I mean?
True.
So
it's true.
But the thing I'm most excited for is we trash picked a little forklift kind of toy thing, motorized forklift, kind of like his little tractor. And it was broken. It needs like a new battery and wiring or something. I don't really know. So I'm going to have to figure it out, but we're going to fix it together. I'm going to give that to him. And right now the dingo is broken in the shop. So we're going to have the dingo and the forklift right next to each other. And we're going to work on it together. It's going to be so sweet.
That is very
I'm
nice.
so excited for that. So
giving him the gift of quality time. That's beautiful.
Oh yeah. Hopefully it'll be quality time and not hold the flashlight here.
Oh, it's definitely going to turn into that.
Well,
it's part of the experience.
It really is. It really is. So anyway, Christmas is coming up. This will be released after Christmas, but Christmas is in 2 days, and it's just a magical time of year. And it's also, I feel honestly excited about setting goals for the new year, and I don't feel overwhelmed by it at all. I'll touch on some things that I do feel overwhelmed about in a minute, but this episode, what we wanted to do was kind of lay out the groundwork for our goals for 2025. We've been thinking about them. We've talked about them a little bit, but we want to kind of have an open sort of brainstorming, and more than a brainstorming session. We're trying to kind of hash out the goals that we're going to set as concrete goals, which will be finalized sometime next week. But this is kind of the showing you our process of kind of how we go back and forth, setting goals and coming up with them, and, feedback between each other of what seems attainable, what's trackable, what's so we're kind of fine-tuning those goals that will be set in stone sometime next week to really hit 2025 with a vengeance. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
One of my goals is to
be more vengeful?
Talk more concisely.
Oh.
Be more judicious with my words.
Did you open a vocab book or something today?
No, but it's pretty good, right? It's pretty good. Anyway.
I feel like I got in your head because I told you used pertinent wrong the other day.
I've thought about it many, many times over the past couple days, yes. But I've also used it about 7 times in the correct way.
Beautiful.
Pertinent. Pertinent
Learning,
means
adapting.
It pertains to something, so it's relevant to something else.
Correct.
I used it as a replacement for like important. It's not.
Correct.
It's not a synonym of important, but That's your vocab lesson for the day. So should we, is there any other Christmas, holiday, year-end stuff you want to talk about?
Nah, I just hope everyone has a lovely holiday and that they're in the holiday spirit and they're enjoying the lull of whatever they experience between Christmas and New Year's at whenever this is released. So just hope everybody has a nice holiday and a happy New Year.
Just everybody chill out and relax and enjoy the moments and don't be all stressed out.
Don't let my stress rub off on you.
Don't be all stressed out like Catherine. It's the most magical time of year. My God. All right. Well, let's get into some of our goal setting stuff like that. And
I created a bit of an outline for this.
Beautiful.
You know me, I love a structure. So we can't plan for the new year without doing a 2024 in review. So, Sean, lead us.
Makes sense.
How do you feel 2024 went? What were your, you don't need to go into all of the goals of 2024 and, dissect each one, but maybe hit on some high points and maybe some things we can work on.
Absolutely. So, we'll start with some good things. Obviously, we did some really cool projects this year. Some projects that I'm really proud of. We got some really awesome final pictures of a couple really cool projects. I think there's still a lot more that can be done with pushing the design envelope that, we maybe could have gone a little bit harder in that direction this year, but still we did some really cool stuff that we're all really proud of. The one thing that I think stood out to me this year that we can improve upon is the rate at which we complete projects. I think looking back at the year, we didn't complete quite as many as we had hoped. It's always tough to quantify a goal of how many projects we want to do because some projects tend to be smaller, some are a lot bigger. We did quite a few larger projects this year, but still looking back at it, I think that we can move through them a lot more efficiently. And that's one of my goals for 2025 is to look at ways that we can speed up the production on the projects.
Hang on.
Oh, we're not going into that yet.
You're jumping ahead. We're just recapping 2024.
One of my other goals for 2025 is to follow directions better. So I'm sorry. Okay. So I think that we could have progressed through projects a little bit quicker.
Okay.
Do we want to go back and forth? Do you want to say one now? How does this work? You came up with the structure, so.
Well, this isn't meant to be a huge part of it. It's just like kind of an overall thing.
Oh, just an overall vibe of how it went.
Just an overall vibe of 2024. Like, that's a great one though. I do agree. Like we could have. I mean, it's hard to say because efficiency is always a goal. Obviously, we always want to get faster and better. And there definitely were times where we could have gotten faster and done a little bit more. We could have been a little bit more efficient in 2024. So, love that. Maybe talk about. I don't off the top of my head. I can't think of how many jobs we did, like number wise. But obviously, it's hard to quantify. Not even how many we do, but hard to I could pull up a list right now and count them, but
it's hard to have that as a target because we could do one job that's 20 times bigger than our typical project, and that would be getting a lot done. So I think looking at some of the things that I think are great building blocks for next year that went really well and are exciting things are building the shop. It will be, very shortly in the new year, fully operational. We will be ending our lease at the old shop, moving everything in.
When's that happening?
Well, I just scheduled the final inspections for the shop. So then we can close up the walls and start building some organization in there and move everything in seamlessly. I just didn't want to jump the gun and move everything out of the old shop till it kind of has a place in the new shop. So that will be happening very shortly, and already having a lot of stuff at the house, like extra materials are now like just going back there instead of going to the old shop. And it's just made things a lot easier with, oh, let me check. I think I have these boards at home. We just need a couple more. I can bring them. Different things like that. Like we haven't really seen the fruits of working on the dingo in the shop. I fixed it once and it broke again, but having a spot where things can be worked on, I think it's going to be a huge, huge benefit to our efficiency, the ease at which we handle, just excess materials or bringing stuff to the site, like having a stock of extra plugs and screws and all that kind of stuff in a central location that I can just grab in the morning and go, I think is going to be great for efficiency and just make things easier. So I think that's a big thing. That's what's that? What's so funny?
You're just not sticking to my structure and it's bothering me.
What is the structure? I'm trying to stick to I'm talking about the structure.
Let's talk about 2024. You're
we
moving
built
into 2025.
No, we built the shop. And it's gonna okay. All right, we built the shop. That took us off a little bit of our, we stepped away from projects for about a month to do that. So I think that took some of the possible projects off of our itinerary for the year. We were able to do a little bit less because we spent about a month building that, but I was going to go into 2025, but I won't. All right.
Just save it.
Overall, it went great. There was good times, there was bad times, and overall, it was good.
What about financially? Did you feel like, were you happy with where we landed financially in 2024?
Yeah, absolutely. So we had set some goals. I haven't done the year-end accounting. We're really close to the goals that we set, but we did take that entire month off building the shop. So I'm kind of working through exactly how I want to segment that time that was spent and almost separate some of those labor costs and stuff so that I can get a more accurate number of where we were at profit wise on just projects. So obviously those costs are going to go into our year-end accounting and our overall P&L and everything that goes into our taxes. But I kind of want to manually separate that to just break down, what that cost was and then how that impacts everything else. So I can get a little bit of a clearer picture of how we did overall. And, because if you look at it right now, it's just like that's a huge hit to our profitability because we weren't getting paid for that job. So, but overall, it was a great year. I think priced things out a lot better. We still hit a lot of the timelines that we had set, even though I think looking back, we can improve upon it. I won't go into it yet because that's 2025, but overall, we're really close to the goals that we had set financially for revenue goals and stuff like that. And I'll have a little bit of a clearer picture of that in the coming weeks to kind of dial in where we can improve some efficiencies from that end. Like where are the improvements that can be made from estimating perspective, tools, material costs, all that kind of stuff. Because usually once I go through the year-end financials with the accountant, he'll pull up everything from the year before and we'll kind of look at everything, and there will be certain categories that's like, oh, this category went up a lot. Like what's with that? Sometimes it's an insurance cost goes up a whole lot. Like when you hire somebody else and another person's on your health insurance, like that goes up a lot. So kind of pinpointing where those things are in the numbers is important to just get an idea of, are we missing something? Is there some sort of extra cost like tool expenditures? Did that go way up and we're not accounting enough for that in our overhead? Things like that need to be sorted. But overall, we're really close to hitting our goal numbers, and I think there's still a lot of room for improvement on them. So that's a good place to be.
Perfect. All right. Well,
how do you think 2024 went? But don't talk about 2025 at all. Don't even mention it.
Stick to the structure. 2024 was very good. I think that, like you said, lots of room for improvement with efficiency, but for the most part, I think that I feel very like conflicted when it comes to the efficiency, because I feel like there were definitely holes where we could improve, but on the other hand, there were some jobs that we moved through like quicker than I thought. So it's kind of like dialing down what went right, what went wrong, and then kind of
building
using
on
that knowledge to move forward. Because I do think that, when I think about it as a whole, I'm like, oh yeah, we probably could have fit in another job there or something. But then if I think about it job by job, I'm like, well, that went pretty good. Like we did a lot of things pretty smoothly there.
Yep. Well, I'll get into that when we get into 2025, because I do have some ideas on how we could do that, but I'm not allowed to talk about it yet. So,
all right, no, now you can move forward to 2025.
Okay.
Okay. So for 2025, let's break it.
Am I going to be able to reference back to 2024?
You
or
can.
Now
you can. You can reference the past. Yes, you can.
Okay. Perfect.
I do want to do this in some sort of structured manner, though.
All right. Well, let's set that as a goal for next year.
All right.
Next year we stick to a structure. All right.
Stick to a structure. All right. Yeah. Go ahead. Just willy-nilly it. Freestyle it. What do you think?
All right. We're just going right off the rip. Okay. So
all this prep work I did out the window.
Out the window. One thing that I saw as something that can improve our efficiency a lot is, we always try to do everything on the job site. We try to wear all the hats of every different part of the project. And one thing on this current project that we decided to sub out was some of the demo and excavation. And you thought it was a bad idea because you were like, this is going to be great footage. It is by far one of the best financial things that we could have done. They were in and out in 2 days. I mean, that doesn't really matter. It could have taken them a month or whatever. Like, we weren't there. We didn't have to do it. So that didn't matter. It was $5,000 to sub this out. For us to do it, number one, it was a tight site. So working around what needed to be done would have been difficult for us. They came in with an excavator and a skid steer, and we would have had to get at least one dumpster for concrete, one dumpster for dirt, probably at least a third one. So that right there is over $2,000. We would have had to rent a skid steer for sure, because there was a ton of stuff that needed to come out. Mm-hmm. That just for one day with delivery is like $800. And then we needed at least a triaxle of 3/4 clean stone, which is like $1,100. So right there, just in our costs, not including labor at all, we're really close to that $5,000. And for us to do that, it would have taken us at least 3 days. They got it done in 2 because they had the right equipment. They knew how to use it. They were really, really efficient in what they did. And for us, it made things so much easier for us. We can still go in. You were kind of worried, like, oh, well, we can get great content about this part of the project, which I still stopped by, got content, but for speed and efficiency and profitability, it was one of the best decisions that we've made. What do you think? Are you still so anti-subbing it out?
So is that like your 2025 lesson? You want to sub more out?
Some things.
Okay.
Like excavation. So, all right, here's a little bit more on that. What my thinking is behind that. It's so much about the equipment that you have. So somebody that has an excavator and a skid steer that knows how to use it like flawlessly can come in and out so quickly and just do it so much more precise, where they're not over excavating some things. They're bringing in the right amount of stone. It's easier to estimate everything. And we don't have to, number one, own a few more machines. We know how it's working out with the Dingo. Not good. always broken. We don't have to maintain those machines. We don't have to become experts in operating those machines. And it can all happen simultaneously while we're on site. So we found a pretty good sub that I was really happy with on this project. And moving forward, it's not like, we can't show that part of the project because they can come in while we're there. It doesn't have to happen before we get there. Like if we're doing a deck and a patio, we can bring somebody in to excavate while we're there, work alongside them. And it's basically like you're hiring that extra labor help when you need it. And it's not somebody that you have to have on payroll and have all these extra costs. They just come in when you need them, and they're experts at that. They can knock it out and do it so much cleaner, so much quicker, and so much more precise than we can. And I just think that it just seems like a no-brainer at this point. And then we stick to what we're really good at,
Yeah. I'm with it.
You're pissed off, but you're with it.
I'm pissed off, but I'm with it. No, I do. I mean, from a
right,
business standpoint. What?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Before you get all in a tizzy
mm-hmm.
with all of the efficiency and productivity and extra profits, I'll just buy an excavator and we can have like a playground at my house.
Because I know you want to leave.
No, it's just for fun. I know part of it is that you want to use the machinery.
Well, obviously,
we'll get some machinery and we can have like a corporate retreat where there's just excavators and stuff.
Okay, that sounds fun. I like that. All right, cool. That's fair. Fair trade.
Right. Everybody's happy.
All right. No, I agree that it cost wise, efficiency wise, great. Love that. And I don't think that our team necessarily loves to do the excavation and that kind of stuff anyway. However, for this video series, we did decide to do things a little bit differently. So just thinking about it on the content side, my brain is always on the content side as well as the construction side. So construction side, I get it. I know why you did it. It makes sense. Content wise, I'm like, this is perfect. This is part of what we're doing. This is very impactful knowledge. We should be the ones doing it. And I know that us recording content slows things down in every capacity. All of, that just happens because, it's just part of this path that you have chosen for us. But we need to do that. So part of me was like, it's going to be great for content. But the other half of me was like, I mean, it does make sense. It's great. But yeah, the content side of my brain is a little butthurt because I really would have liked to do that. But that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. Maybe next time. But
and we can still capture it. We can still capture it and show people the whole process.
I know, but I think that part of it is people want to see us doing it. They don't want to see some rando, time lapsed doing it. They can find that anywhere. Part of it is us being the ones that do it. But
something to think about. It's
TBD.
Something to think about. TBD.
Maybe next time.
Yeah. All right, so I think that's going to kind of lead me into one of my next goals for 2025, which is on the content side, and that is, I really feel like we are at the point where we can take the next step forward in being better storytellers and kind of taking our content to the next level. Mainly, I'm thinking here about YouTube and just kind of reinventing what our channel is and what that looks like and how we create the videos, how we tell a story, and really just dial in on the things that are the most important for us and the reasons that we started the channel, which is to show people cool designs. Again, as cool as I can come up with. Continually pushing the design aspect of it as much as possible, giving people impactful tips and tricks that they can use on their projects. And also, number one, kind of inspiring people that, hey, if these people can do it, they're showing all the problems that they've had, all the things where they're unsure of themselves. If they can do it, I can do it. That is one of the core things about our content that I want to dial back in on, just showing that, hey, we're all figuring this out together. You you become part of our community. We're all figuring this out together, and I just want people to know that I'm an idiot, and
I know.
I'm able to figure it out.
This is why I wanted to do the excavation, because I was like, if we're going to mess something up, then somebody else who's watching this is probably going to mess up the same thing that we messed up, and we can show them this is what you do, rather than just watching some expert do it in time lapse.
All right. Well, we got to find a balance here. We got to find a balance. I think that we can still. I think that we're ready to take the next step as storytellers, and I think we've done a great job of getting the content and the channel and all this stuff to the point that we're at now. But I think it's due for a little bit of a reinvention and the next season of Premier Outdoor Living.
Season 2. Love that.
Season 2. Stay tuned. I've got a twin brother in this one. It just got out of jail.
Oh my God, they always do that in soap operas.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
There's always like a twin.
Like a surprise twin brother, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun. Wow, so exciting. I can't wait to see.
Yeah. I don't know if that's really I don't know if that's really the route to go, but you see where my head's at. So what do you got on
right.
Let's start with the business side of it. What do you got there that
business
you
side
think we can set as a goal?
Now,
and also remember, this is our initial
just
goal setting session. So
planning, yeah.
Yeah, you're writing these things down, right?
I am, yes.
All right, perfect.
Taking notes.
Awesome.
Okay, so I just decided a couple days ago, I am appointing myself a new position within Premier Outdoor Living.
Perfect. What is it?
I'm going to be in charge of maintenance.
Are you my boss?
No.
Okay.
No, thank you.
All right.
You're unmanageable. I can't.
It's true.
You know that clip from The Office when Mindy Kaling's like, she says something like, I'm the manager. And then Jim's like, aren't you the only person in the department? And she's like, yes, Jim. And I'm very hard to manage. It feels like you.
That does feel like me. Wow. Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, so I'm in charge of maintenance now. That's something that this dingo situation is just never ending. And things break. And sometimes it's just the powers that be have decided that the dingo is not going to work today. But most of it is purely maintenance issues. That thing has never been maintained. We never clean it. We never take care of it. We never do anything to help it. We're pretty hard on that thing, and then we get mad when it breaks. So I think
it's accurate, yeah.
And with the van gets a lot of love because we're in it all the time, but it also gets incredibly dirty because we're all in it all the time. Mm-hmm. And she could just get more regular oil changes. She sits for a very long time, and then so I think that we need to be better about maybe I take her on a walk once a week or something, because it usually just moves from job site to job site, and then the battery dies, and then we just we jump it, and then go to the next job site, and then it's dead again. So I think as a whole, we just need to get better with taking care of the things that we do have. And maybe one day we will have an excavator, and we need to learn how to maintain these things to keep everything in good working order, because we do just abuse these things and then get really mad when they break. And we're like, wow, what the heck? Why is this happening?
The robots were supposed to be our saviors, and here they are breaking down on us at the most unopportune times. But I do want to clarify, I still think that we're going to need a new machine. I think a ditch witch.
We're gonna take very good care of whatever comes into our lives.
We are. Yeah, it's like what's that song? He should have bought you flowers or whatever. That Bruno Mars song, you know what I'm talking about? Uh-huh. That's how we're gonna treat the next one. We realize our past transgressions. Yeah. And we took it for granted.
Yeah. We're sorry, Dingo. It was not you. It was us.
It was us, and now you're dead. And I'm so sorry. No, that's I'm getting that fixed. I'm working on it. I'm working on getting it fixed. But I think we still need a daily machine that, even if we do sub out all of our excavations and stuff, we're still going to need a machine to move stuff around site, to we were moving stuff in a wheelbarrow today. We shouldn't be doing that. It was
It broke my little heart to watch everyone do that as I
It was actually kind of great because
warmly in the van.
It was freezing out today, like literally like 8 degrees when I got my truck this morning, and it was good because it kept us moving. So
that's true.
It was actually kind of nice.
Well, sure, to get the blood flowing, it is nice, a nice little workout, but it just took so long. It's so slow.
Yeah, it's not as fast.
So slow.
It's not as fast, for sure.
And then there's always that, like, do we need another bucket full? Okay. I'll go get it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, we do need a new machine there. So there will still be some machines to maintain, and I think that is a great initiative for you to
even with
undertake.
I think that we need to switch our mentality of maintenance, of even just like regularly servicing our tools and like cleaning them and taking care of them and making sure everything's put away. I think that we need to come up with some sort of new way of taking care of things. Why?
So we need to, I don't know. We're going to go up to Ant and be like, Ant, it's time. Hand me over your drill. It's time to give it an oil change. We got to clean it up. With certain stuff.
I'll let you handle that.
Yeah.
I don't mean the power tools. I just mean like, we'll do something and then we realize, we left that shovel in the concrete and now there's a concrete block across, like attached to our shovel. Guess we got to go buy a new shovel. Like just taking care of, I think when there's a lot of people on a job site, we're sometimes thinking like, like somebody else will, they're still using that. I won't touch it or something. So I think that we just need to get better. Maybe like end of day, just making sure everything's like clean and put away. And obviously I'm talking more about like machinery and taking care of our bigger things. But I think that, maybe that'll trickle down to the smaller things as well.
Even maintenance on ourselves.
Oh, and self-maintenance, self-care.
Self-maintenance, my God. So important.
When was the last time you got an oil change? Ask yourself that.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds weird. I'm not getting any oil changes.
Metaphorical,
yeah. Now I feel pretty good. I don't know. You're the one's all stressed out with this end of year stuff. I think that's a great initiative. Maybe even having some sort of scheduled, like, having everything on a maintenance schedule.
Yes.
So that it's not
100%.
Just like,
I
feels like
spreadsheets.
All right. Okay.
Reminder.
Really feeling myself on this, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, whoa. Okay, watch out. Yeah, I do think that could be prioritized a lot more. And what do you got on the what? What is it now?
Oh, nothing. I was just thinking about the maintenance that we do. Like when Goliath Tech is the sub that we use on every job to do our helical piles. When they come to our job site, they have a Mini X. That thing is spotless. Our job site right now is just muck. It's like muddy. I mean, now today it's frozen, but like when they were there, it was just like wet mud everywhere. It was disgusting and dirty. And I assume they work in those kinds of conditions all of the time.
Yeah.
But every time they come to our job site, their excavator is spotless. And it made me think, our dingo never looks like that.
It did. I power washed it like 6 months ago. Remember?
That one time. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
It
looks great.
It sucks because you're spraying it and it's just shooting mud back at you. It's really a pain to do.
I know, but you got to do these things. We got to take care of these things. So.
And now I have a better spot to do it as well. Previously, I was just parking it in a trailer in a parking lot somewhere, so it wasn't,
The dingo?
Yeah.
You're parking it in a parking lot?
Yeah, where I was parking the dump trailer for the longest time. It just sat there. There wasn't I didn't have like a home base where I could just take it and wash it. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. I don't remember ever being there. I thought it just went job site to job site.
Well, most of the time, but anytime that we didn't need it, it spent a lot of time in that parking lot.
These all feel like excuses because we've had a shop for like...
Yeah, but we can't be power washing stuff there all muddy. Good point. That's a good point.
Maybe.
All right. Well,
anywho,
whatever.
We're working on it.
All right. So what do you got on content side?
I was actually also going to say storytelling. I took a master class And by took a masterclass, I mean I watched a masterclass the other day. And I do think that I think that a lot of now that the content scene has become very saturated with contractors telling their stories. I think that a lot of people do have this reactive mindset of like, I'm doing this thing and everyone's going to think that it's super interesting. And we're all kind of doing similar things and we're all showing how to do our things. And like, I think, you know, you were one of the first people to come to that conclusion of like, oh, I want to show, you know, I want to do this content thing. And now a lot of people have kind of risen to the occasion and we have a lot of peers in that space now. And I think that the differentiator between us taking this next step will be like how we choose to tell this story and how we choose to give a voice to what we've done and what we learn and what we do. So I would really like to get more into the storytelling, and obviously we want our content to be natural, like it is what we're doing and what, you know.
Yeah.
To a certain extent, it's just like what we filmed that day is what we're putting out. So I want to keep that natural. Obviously, I'm not trying to say that we're like a scripted, you know,
reality show.
We're not a reality show, but I do want to. I want to be more clear and concise about what story we are telling, and what our purpose is, what we're doing here. Why
the hell are we here?
What are we even doing?
Who the hell put us here?
And that not only goes for that also goes for this podcast. I think that
absolutely,
we really enjoy doing this podcast, and I mean,
you mean that?
I do. I don't know if you do. No, I shouldn't speak for you, but I do, and I love just chit chatting and talking, and I love getting to meet our new guests and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, you got to get better, you know? So.
Absolutely. You do. And I think that there's so many different ways, like, you know, there's so much stuff that we can film while we're on a job site building. And it's just the way that we can kind of frame it. And, you know, we absolutely don't want it to be unnatural or scripted or kind of like, you know, coerced to tell a certain story that we have predetermined. It's just more like there's a lot of different ways we could tell the same story with the same footage that we even have. And just making sure that it's like, you know, part of the content side that I always thought was film it so that people can, you know, number one, learn something. They can hopefully get an interesting tip or trick on how to do something, but also see what kind of design ideas we're coming up with, and also just like be entertained and feel like they're hanging out with us. And I think that we still want to have that kind of feel to it, but I think there's also a big opportunity to, especially now, like you said, it's so saturated, like to give people a payoff for why they're watching it. You know what I mean? Like making sure that we deliver on all those things, but also deliver some really good value so that people are like, I just spent 20 minutes watching this video. I feel like I got 20 minutes worth of entertainment or info or whatever out of it, and making sure that we provide that value so that people don't watch it and be like, well, okay, it was just a video. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just think that we're ready to take that next step, and the bar is always getting raised on the content side, and it's just a fun, exciting challenge for us to kind of reinvent ourselves a little bit and see how much better we can get at that part of our business.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
100%.
If you're not growing, you're dying.
Oh, God. Dang it.
We're all dying anyway, actually.
Oh, God. Okay.
It's okay, though.
All right, well, I feel like we talked about like 10% of the things that we needed to talk about, but that was a great exercise.
Yes.
But let's move on. What do you got personally, Sean?
Personally, okay.
You as a person.
Me as a person. Okay, so I feel like I had some decent growth this year. Am I allowed to talk about 2024?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yes,
all right,
you may.
Thank you. Okay. You know, I talked about it on here before. I had to come to terms with the fact that I'm just at an age where I just have to exercise regularly and stretch regularly and eat a more consistently nutritious diet And for the most part this year, I feel like I've done really well with that. My natural mode that I go into is very much teeter-tottering. Like, I'm working out like crazy. I'm eating nothing but chicken and string cheese and carrots. And then I'll go completely on the opposite end and just kind of teeter-totter. I've been much more consistent in moderation this year, and I'm proud of that, and I want to continue on that. So I wanted to set some more realistic goals for this year. So what I've got is I want to, number one, run 365 miles.
A mile a day.
So, averages out. I'm not going to run a mile a day, but it's averages out to a mile a day, where before, I think I didn't set a running goal last year, but the year before I did, and I think it was 1,000 miles. That was too many. It was too many.
Yeah, I think you broke it down by month. Like each month was like a compounding amount. And I just remember at some point you were like, all right, I just need to run
600 miles
tomorrow and I'll be fine.
Yeah. That wasn't a great way to go about it. Yeah. And it just got to a point where it was kind of overwhelming. Like, oh God, I fell behind this month. And now, I need to run 40 miles by the end of the week to hit my goal. So I think this is a much more achievable goal, easier to stay on pace with it. It's more manageable. And this year, I don't know if I mentioned on this podcast, but I started doing CrossFit. Did I mention that?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. I want to go to at least 125 classes this year. So that is just under 3 a week. I think it's very manageable. Again, my natural instinct when I'm setting goals would be like, I want to go an average of 5 days a week. So 250 classes. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go with half of that and go 125. And again, it's more manageable and my goals have changed. I don't need to be like shredded and like jacked. That point in my life is past me. I need to just be a healthier version of myself. And I feel like this is a more healthy goal. And that is why I am choosing that for 2025.
What growth. My goodness.
It feels like it. It does feel like it. It feels like growth. So that is my health goal.
Okay.
What do you got? And then I'll go to, I also have another goal, but let's take turns. What do you got?
My health goal?
You don't have to have a health goal. It could be.
Well, no, I do have a health goal because I feel like I teeter-totter too much with like rigid goals rather than, and then then I kind of just fall, whatever. Anyway, like I did 75 hard and I was like, I stuck with that for a long time. And then it's kind of like, oh, well, I signed up for a half marathon, but then the person I was going to run it with decided not to do it. So I was like, well, I'm not going to do it by myself. So I was
just thinking about that. Weren't you supposed to run a half marathon pretty recently?
Yeah. But then the person that I was going to do it with dropped out. And I was like,
who was it?
I'm not going to dime him out like that.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you later. Well, okay. I'm sure you can guess. But anyway, so then I joined a gym, which was amazing and lovely. And it was like a fancy spa gym. It was the best. I really, really enjoyed it, but it was also quite expensive. And I have 1,000 other hobbies. So just budget-wise.
Something had to hit the chopping block.
Something had to hit the chopping block. And in my brain, I was like, well, I created this habit. I'll just keep working out. But then I didn't because I didn't have a reason. I didn't sign up for that. I signed up for 5:30 class. I have to go. And I didn't have that pressure anymore. So I think my goal is just finding something that I can be consistent with. Because I love if I could still be a member of that gym, which I just looked and it's actually they shut down membership or whatever.
Oh really?
It's like a fancy private. They're full something. So anyway, I need to find something that I can sustain and maintain. And that gym was lovely, but it was expensive. And that's just not it's not realistic. And I wasn't even using all of the features that made it this fancy spa gym anyway. So I just need to find something that I can do And I'm not good at sticking, like, I love Pilates, but I'm not going to join a Pilates gym and that's the only thing that I can do. Or like you love CrossFit and you can do that one thing. I can't, like, I would just get bored doing the same thing.
No, it has a lot of different aspects to it. That's the thing.
But it's still the same thing. You're going
No,
the same.
it's different.
Anyway,
it's different.
I need to find something that's sustainable and maintain something for myself, whether it's me doing it at my house or, you know, if I do join another gym, like what can I actually work into my everyday thing that will not feel cumbersome and it just becomes like second nature. That's what I need to find. I need to find
right.
I need to find my thing. Because
So
I do
your goal
love
is to find your thing.
to find and maintain something. Whatever that maintenance thing is. Because I do
2025, find the thing. 2026, do the thing.
No. Both are 2025.
Both in 20. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because I love trying new things. I would love to join like a boxing gym or like whatever, but not like my fancy expensive gym. It just wasn't it. I couldn't maintain that. So it's like, I found my thing. I loved that. There was all these different classes I was taking. It was great. There was a sauna, there was a pool. It had everything, but it's not sustainable because it was so expensive. I was like, something's got to give here. So it's about, you know, finding the thing that is actually maintainable, not just like finding something that I enjoy. Because I love trying new things all of the time. That's not hard to find.
Right.
So it's more of like a maintenance thing. Anyway, what's next for you?
Next for me is something that has been a goal of mine for many, many years, and that is to buy a dump truck. Already completed. No, I'm just kidding.
I was going to say, what other life goals do you have? Build a shop. Buy a dump truck.
Done.
And done.
Learn to speak Spanish.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've tried it. So I'm on Duolingo. I'm on there.
Yeah.
I'm not on there that much recently, but I will get back to it. And that is something that I feel like it's one of those things that I've wanted to do for so long. And like, I feel like if I never do it, I'll really be upset with myself if I don't, because it's something that I think I can do. It doesn't necessarily take that much time. Like, I can do it for 15 minutes a day, like do this, and then I can practice at work with Jose.
I was going to say, you're in a unique position of having a native speaker around you all of the time. So that's how you learn. Just have conversations with him. Yeah.
So I think that it's something that is
I
doable.
guess you should ask him if he wants to help you, because he might be like, oh God, shut up. I don't feel like listening to your broken Spanish anymore.
I'm the boss. I can do whatever I want. He doesn't have a choice. But it is, I've reflected on it, and I feel like it feels like something that I consistently want to do, and I haven't done it, and I have the opportunity to do it, and I should already be a fluent Spanish speaker, and I feel like I'll be disappointed in myself if I look back and I'm like, you know what, I never did that thing, learn another language. So I'm doubling down on it again, and I'll keep doing it until I get it.
Love that. I think it's a great goal.
Thanks so much. Appreciate that.
And Duolingo is pretty cool.
It is. It's kind of fun.
It's kind of fun.
They make it like a game, but the game's like so confusing. I don't know like what's happening. There's like way too many like badges and
and you're in crystals or something.
It's really, really confusing. But it works really good. Like, I was doing it consistently for probably like 3 weeks, and I was practicing a little bit at work, and just like I was doing it felt like I was on the path of learning how to speak the language, like actually speak it. I can like sit there and like get my thoughts across if I sit there long enough and like think how to phrase it. And, you know, I know enough Spanish to get my point across, but not nearly conversationally. And that's where I want to get to. And it felt like, oh, wow, if I keep doing this, like this feels like I'm already making some progress. So that's my goal. That's my goal.
I love that.
Thanks so much. Appreciate that.
Wonderful. Attainable.
Trackable. So
Love
what
it.
else you got?
KPIs. For me, I have a bunch of hobbies. I don't know if I mentioned that before.
I'm not sure if that's like your Instagram handle or anything.
I do a lot of things, and I love it. I really enjoy it. I just like learning new things, and I like doing new things, and I like trying new things. But I often get caught up in the like hustle of it, or like I like to paint, and now I am teaching these little painting classes, and I really enjoy that. I love it. I feel like it's so fun and validating when, like, I'm not like some sort of revolutionary artist, but I love showing
Not
people.
with that attitude.
I love showing people like how good it is for your mental health to have a hobby. Like, I think that it's just so healthy to have some sort of outlet, and I've gotten kind of like caught up, and I do that with all of my, like, instead of just enjoying sailing, I have now turned it into being a board member, and I'm responsible for all of these things. I didn't just like, instead of just enjoying my hobby, I've like turned it into something that's then a responsibility. And I've kind of done that with art as well. But I love it. I'm not complaining. I do really enjoy it, but I want in 2025 to just enjoy the things that I do more so than turning it into a hustle. Like, I'm preaching all these things, like, you should have hobbies, you should do things for the sake of enjoying them, and then I turn them into some sort of hustle that I have to be responsible for, and then I'm like, oh, well, now I'm not, I'm not preaching, I'm not practicing what I preach. So in 2025, I'm just going to be more mindful of, like, creating art for the sake of creating art. I'm going to enjoy my boat, for just take it out sailing because I want to sail by myself, or, like, just enjoy the things without the hustle behind it. I think that in 2024, I think I worked really hard at all of these things to turn them into these more responsibilities, which is lovely. And I do continue to, I'm going to do that in 2025. Like, I want to teach more of these classes, and I have big goals for all of those things, but just for, like, mental health wise, I still want to be able to enjoy my hobbies for the sake of enjoying them.
So not rolling back on, you're not stepping away from the board or stopping your paint and sip classes, but
no,
you're going to try to stop habitually.
Foot is still on the full gas of responsibilities and keeping myself busy and just full of responsibilities, but also do these things just for myself too. Not neglecting the fact that I should be doing these things for my mental health because I enjoy them.
Yeah.
That's
the
last
great.
time, like, I paint sometimes. I used to a lot more than I actually do now, but, like, I can't remember the last time I painted just sat, like, not for something, like, or for, like, somebody asked me to paint them something. I paint them something, but I haven't just, like, sat down and painted something for the sake of painting something in forever. And that's, like, what I preach. I preach, do these things, and then I don't do them. So,
you know what you should do?
That's my thing. What?
You should paint a beautiful portrait of the Mobile Command Center.
And then we can hang it in the Mobile Command Center.
That'd be great. That'd be so nice. Something to think about.
I will, yeah.
Yeah, maybe something to think about.
Maybe that's next.
Yeah, I think hobbies, you've told me for years now that I need a hobby. So I don't know if they're beneficial or not. I haven't gotten one yet, but I see where you're coming from, because that's always my tendency is, like, I feel like I can't just do things just for the sake of doing them. It's always like, how can I, like, turn this into some sort of part of my job, or like what's there always needs to be, like, an end goal, which is like, okay, I'm gonna, like, I don't know, like, I've always had a really difficult time just doing things for the sake of enjoying them and no other purpose whatsoever. So, I'm not gonna steal your goal and say that I'm gonna do that, but I think that is something I could be more mindful of. It's just like, just doing things just to do them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I always used to be really into music and stuff. So, like, one of the things Sarah was like, let's get a wall mount for your guitar so that it's hung up in a living room, and then, like, you'll pull it down and play it. And, like, Max always likes when I play the guitar and stuff like that. So it'd be like, just doing something like that more consistently, I think would probably be great for me too. So
yeah,
thank you for shedding light on that. My God.
Yeah, man, no problem.
All right, cool.
I think that in the past I've gone too hard with these, like, New Year's goals, and like 75 is a perfect example of, like, like I did it and I stuck to it and I was like rigid about it, and then it went away and I was like, oh, goodbye forever. And I think that sometimes we just need to like relax a little. Enjoy your hobby. Take a little, you know, it doesn't need to be so like foot on the gas all the time.
Yeah. Like,
although I am still foot on the gas, but.
Oh, my foot is, you know, I live life like Gravedigger, the monster truck. One foot on the gas, the other in the grave. I have a shirt that says that. It's awesome. Anyway, I forgot where I was going with that, but yeah, I think maybe we're just getting
old.
Older.
I think,
yeah, like because that used to be that was the thing I loved about New Year's was like I am going to set goals that are so unachievable, but with the mindset that I'm going to turn into some superhuman performer this year. And this year, I just feel like I feel very content in setting a realistic goal that's not like I'm going to run 5,000 miles. Like I just want to be like consistently healthier, and I'm okay with that goal right now. And I've never been like that before. Usually it's something so like just aggressive of a goal that that I usually don't end up fully achieving. Like, you know, I might make a lot of progress towards it, but there's a lot of stress in that too that I feel like maybe I don't need anymore. So just
I think that we got caught up. I mean, neither of us like turned into 10Xers, but I feel like just like that whole mindset and constantly hear people are talking about that and like you gotta be growing at this rate or you're gonna die or whatever. It like kind of seeps into your brain, and then it made me feel like I wasn't even able to set like a realistic goal. Like, what even is a realistic goal at this point? Am I supposed to like, if I set a 10x goal and then I only 7x, dude, am I a failure? Like, I don't. How do I even do this anymore?
Yeah,
I feel like it kind of got into my mental, it got in there somewhere and mushed everything around, and I was like, I don't even feel like I know how to set attainable goals anymore.
Yeah, it can snowball really quick. Like we were doing the whole sticker chart thing, and we were crushing
good,
it.
Though, yeah,
it was good, but it was also like, all right, we did this for 3 months, and it was like read 10 pages, exercise for a half hour, and like meditate or something. I remember those were like the 3 core ones, and then it was like, all right, well now we need to add 5 more things to it, and like, you know, we need to get 8 stickers today. Like it really quickly like accelerated into something that like, if you just did those 3 things like consistently for a really long time, that's like amazing.
Yeah.
But it's really easy for that to snowball and be like, all right, well now I've done this for 3 months and that's not enough. Now let's add twice as many things. And like, you know, it's easy to get carried away with that kind of stuff. And,
yeah, and I feel
that's
the goal is to always make it to turn that thing into a habit. And if it's just always going to feel like a chore, then it's not turning into a habit. So it's like this isn't
right.
It's not sustainable. It's not maintainable, and it's not sustainable. And
it's not.
We need to be more realistic.
We need to be more realistic. More frequent oil changes on ourselves. Always getting better. Yes, always. Well. I think that we made a lot of progress today, and we are going to take all of those notes and we are going to kind of whittle them down into our 2025 goals. And we should probably do, you know, once we kind of sift through the year-end financials, maybe do a more in-depth summary of, you know, 2024 by the numbers. And, you know, kind of tie those into some of the goals, how we're going to set them for 2025. And, you know, and we'll also do an update on what are our concrete goals for 2025. And I think we should also set up a schedule of talking about them, checking in maybe quarterly or monthly, just saying, okay, here's where we're at with our goals, and boom, 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 accountability.
Love it.
So, it's already an hour, so we didn't get to our construction trivia, so we'll save them for next week. I hope everyone has an amazing holiday and a great new year. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. Don't freak out like Catherine's doing. Just be cool and enjoy the holiday spirit. And until next time, this has been What is it? Until next time, this has been the Hardworking Happy Hour.
There you go. See you next week.
No, see you next year.
Oh, see you next year.
Yeah, you got to do that joke. Okay.
Classic. Okay, bye.
All right, bye.